With about 2 to 3 weeks until the season of the Haunted story is going to conclude, and we'll have a hiatus for a while on the narrative story, we should start looking at season 18. As we know, we're going to get a huge new season. We're going to get Arc 3.0 and a returning raid, so it's going to be a pretty big, lengthy season. So let's get into some of the things we could expect. Now, we're going to go into this previous leak we got before Season of the Haunted release, and it did have stuff that did come true, like Solar 3.0 with the Radiant and Empower and Heal. Like, those things did come true. However, Season of the Lord did not come true. So I want to take, of course, this leak with a grain of salt, as there's going to be probably some things that won't come true. However, there is some things that are already confirmed, because Arc 3.0, like, that is confirmed at this point, that it will be next season, and a returning raid was also confirmed back with the Witch Queen reveal. So we're going to just go into this leak of what we could expect and all that good stuff, but please subscribe and like, because we're trying to get to 12,000 subscribers, and it would mean a lot. But let's get right into it. Now, this leak did say that Season 18 was called Season of the Lies, and the Arc 3.0 are going to have these verbs, of course, to determine what the aspects and fragments will look like for the Hunter, Titan, Warlock class. The verbs that were given was Disoriented, Electrify, Chain, Reflect, Quickness. Now, this could also be true, because it was also these verbs were used in the Witch Queen reveal Vidoc when they were going into Arc 3.0. So they've been looking at a lot of Quickness, Chain, Electrify type verbs for Arc 3.0. Hunter's middle tree arc deflect will roll into the normal arc staff, and Hunters will get a new super called Rod of the Tempest. We could see this come true, as, of course, other classes like, of course, Solar and Void, we have seen subclasses kind of mix into together, so we could see, of course, some other classes, their sub-trees will be mixing together, and, of course, the Hunter middle tree does make a lot of sense, because it is kind of very similar to how top and bottom tree, are used. The Hunters will lean heavily into Chaining, Hunter Disorienting, and Titan Electrifying. Definitely a fan of that, because I love electrifying things. And the Power Fantasy goal for Arc is to feel delicate, but when used properly, it can have devastating effects. Now, that's what a lot of people love about Arc 3.0, because me personally, I don't really have a huge soft spot for Arc 3.0. I love Solar the most, but I definitely am going to like how Arc 3.0 is going to react, of course, with how aspects and fragments will lean into it, and how much effects you can, of course, build that into. It'll be really awesome to see how Arc is affected by, of course, Arc 3.0. Now, let's get into the narrative story. Now, the narrative story was originally planned to bring back Wrath of the Machine with the Plague Lands, but there were problems, and said King's Fall returns in Season 18. I think everyone kind of agrees that King's Fall will be the raid at this point, as it has been leaked from Destiny Leaks all the way back. It has been pointed out, even like hinted at forever, and of course it makes the most sense in the Witch Queen Year 5 year. Of course, that makes a lot of sense. I do see Wrath of the Machine returning some point in the future. I don't think that is like gone, as what happens when Lightfall is released for year 6, what raid would they put in for whatever season is in that year. I would definitely expect Wrath of the Machine and Siva to have a season in the future, but I don't think it's in this time is the best, because again, we Siva hasn't really been planned for something really big, and we haven't really seen the biggest of it since Rise of Iron, so I definitely agree. Now, the season's story will have Saint 14 and Mithrax reveal their massive project. Using the corpse of Coria all the way back from Season of the Splicer, they reconstruct the events leading to Savathun's rise to power. This season revolves around trying to understand the lies Savathun spoke. Major characters include Mithrax, Saint 14 Crow, Rasputin. The season concludes with Amaro attempting to revive Savathun, but he is killed by Crow. Now, this is a lot to take in. First off, Saint 14 Mithrax back at it again. I could see that. Of course, a lot of people loved how they were combined together as like a team at the very end of Season of the Splicer. I definitely love having, of course, those two go together. That would be awesome. Now, using the corpse of Coria, which again we know we have the corpse for Savathun, but the corpse for Coria was like destroyed in the expunge mission, so that can kind of be a bit fuzzy right there. They reconstruct the events leading to Savathun's rise to power. Now, that would be pretty good. Of course, a lot of people, I think, enjoyed Savathun as a villain, and having her come back would definitely be something people would expect for either Lightfall or the final shape. It definitely comes a bit fast after it's been only 2 seasons, and now we're having her back. I thought it was going to take a little more time until we get her back, like after Lightfall, but apparently Morrow is going to attempt to revive Savathun, but he's killed by Crow. So Crow kind of stops this resurrection process, it looks like, before Savathun is resurrected again. Major characters include Mithrax, M14, Crow, and Rasputin. So Rasputin does come back. Of course, a lot of people want Rasputin to come back this season, and I definitely was like on par with it. I felt like the whole season of Lord, Rasputin, Aramis type thing was definitely something I could possibly see. However, this Cal season is pretty dope as well. But Rasputin is definitely a character a lot of people are going to expect for a season plot, either next season or season 19. I could definitely see it anytime around there. Definitely something to look at. But yeah, so for, again, King's Fall returning, I definitely agree that King's Fall is going to be returning as the raid. I don't think it will be Wrath, unfortunately, but definitely something to point out once you're going into these other raids, because I believe when a raid comes, they will have a seal, and they'll have, like, a couple weapons return, with, of course, the exotic weapon being either Touch and Mouse, and we already have Outbreak perfected anyway, so it doesn't mean how would that work, bringing that back, already players having it. So Touch and Mouse would probably return, a seal, and, of course, the raid would be free, because Vogue was free as well. So just to be aware of that if you are like thinking about the raid, because the two dungeons that come out, the dungeon that came out this season and the one that will come out in season 19, I believe you have to pay for with like a dungeon key or something, which I don't really have a whole huge good soft spot for that, because I don't know if that's the best to go, because like why make that not just part of the season? Don't know. But yeah, this is definitely something to look at. Now, I believe Season 18, if I'm correct, should launch on the 22nd of August. Let me just check this real quick. It is going to launch on the 23rd of August. My bad. So the 23rd of August, that's an easy 3 months. I definitely believe Season of the Haunted is one of the shorter seasons out of the seasons we'll receive this year. And Season 18 and Season 19 are probably going to be the longest, because those are the times when they probably are going to work more on Lightfall, and they want to have Lightfall's release date be somewhere in 2023. Now, what is a good date that we could expect this season to end, and when we could expect Lightfall? Now, the tentative release date in this leak said it was going to be February 2023. Now, I definitely agree with that. I would love to have the release for Lightfall to be to February. I thought that was a great month to have expansions, because you really can't compete with anything else. I think Elden Ring was like the only other game that released with Witch Queen, but I don't think that's the case, because it looks like we're going to be pushed back a little bit further, because if you count about 4 months from August, you'll be around like December, and that will be the launch of Season 19, and Season 19 will not be 2 months. It would be most likely 4 to 6 months, because that is the season that has the longest wait in time, because Season of the Lost and Arrivals were the longest seasons we've probably ever seen. So could we expect it in April, May to June of 2023 is when we could see the Lightfall release date. And again, that does seem a bit too much. You know, that's like a bit far out, because then if you look at Final Shape a year after that, we wouldn't expect that till like August or September of 2024. I know it's a while away, and you can't really think like that, but it's definitely going to, adjust the whole expansion schedule and how Season 18, Season 19, and all the seasons going forward would go for the expansions, because Season 18 is most likely going to be a total of 4 months to nearly 3 months at best to be the length of that season, and then, of course, the season after that will probably be the longest before the major expansion. Definitely, again, let me know your thoughts on this leak. Of course, we know Arc 3.0 and a raid is going to return next season. At least we have some things that are confirmed, and we didn't need to speculate on what the next element will be like this season, because we were like speculating if it's Solar Arc, and we had to go back and forth. So finally, we know it's going to be Arc 3.0, and we know there's going to be a raid returning, which will be nice. So just some other things we got to look at, like what the narrative story is going to look at. Probably we're going to get only 2 exotics, one season pass exotic, and then the exotic tied to the returning raid. We won't get an exotic quest, it looks like, unfortunately, which I really hope there was an exotic mission or something, but it doesn't look like that's the case. We know that Destiny Leaks did point out months ago that Season 18 will be pirate themed, but I don't think that's going to be the case anymore, because he did say after a couple weeks after that is that he wasn't sure what the source that he was provided with, so we could see a huge change in what season 18 is going to go with. Of course, we'll just have to wait and see until we get season 18, which will be pretty nice. But yeah, guys, that's all I got for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Please subscribe and like, and yeah, thanks guys for all the support. See ya.